And now, ladies and gentlemen of the old world, we're back in business with a glorious FFA showdown. It's going to be the Dwarves led by UNGRIM, a massive Slayer army. It's going to be 4 regular Slayers in total, including the Dragonback Slayers, and 3 Giant Slayers, double Runesmith. And in case you guys didn't know, Runesmiths are actually quite a bit better than they were before the DLC, that is. So now their rune ability, so the Rune of Negation, Rune of Wrath and Ruin obviously hasn't been changed, but the Rune of Oath and Steel and the Rune of Negation are targeted abilities. So it doesn't radiate from the center of the Runesmith anymore, but rather, for example, if your position on the far side is about to be compromised, you can use it as a targeted buff from a pretty substantial distance and actually buff those guys up with Rune of Negation, which is pretty gangster for sure. Not really much else to say. It's going to be a Slayer army, and they're going to slay some Greenskins, hopefully. So for the armies here of Creed, it's got a glorious Squig Tide, so it's going to be a mass Squig Hoppers and regular Squigs, I think. Yeah, so he's got Squig Hoppers and Night Goblin Squig Hoppers, as well as Squig Herds. A Night Goblin Shaman, it's going to be Grom the Paunch leading the big Chungus squad, as well as a couple Snotling Pump Wagons. Very, very epic army for sure. And now for the Dark Prince over here, it's going to be led by Hadries. He's got Prince Sigvald, as well as an Exalted Hero, a massive amount of Chosen with great weapons. And when I saw that armor, I was like, oh god, let's go the other way and fight the Greenskins. Yeah, he's got a ton of Chaos Metal armor, a couple Spawn units, Marauder Horsemen. A very, very cool Chaos army. I definitely dig that. And now for the High Elves, who are going to be led by, we'll just call him Papa here. It's going to be a combination of Spearmen, Archers, Fireborn, a pretty well-rounded force, to be honest, with a Mage of Fire, a couple Bolt Throwers, and a Lithanar. So basically, seeing a Bolt Thrower army, everyone's just like, you know what? I don't feel like marching into Spears and Bows. Let's just have a 3-way Royal Rumble over here and see how this goes. Now, the Greenskins are coming for blood very, very quickly. Obviously, they see the Slayers. However, as far as Greenskins go, this is probably one of the worst matchups for Squigs. They will hit pretty hard against the Slayers on impact, but the amount of damage they're going to take in return will probably be catastrophic. So I felt pretty comfortable going into this fight here, but nonetheless, the Squig Tide is coming, and they're seeing red as they see their hated foe here, the mighty Dowie. So the Slayer is going to be kind of pushing those guys back, and I think the Greenskins mainly are waiting for Grom the Paunch, which is definitely smart. At the same time, I'm trying to rotate away from the Warriors of Chaos. I saw them kind of coming here for a ganking, so if I can get like up and under here, like in this general area, that would be like the sweet spot, because then the Chaos would be flanking the Greenskins, and really I just want Hadries to have to fight the High Elves, right? So the front charge is coming, Grom the Paunch coming in, big and thick, and the Axe of Dargo is popped, so UNGRIM should be here to do some good damage, and you can see the Rune of Negation going down, so 22% ward save on all those Slayers right there. And on the far side, Slayers fighting Squigs pretty much across the board. Granted, the burst damage will go heavily to the Greenskins here, but on the riposte, as the Dwarves are able to come back in with their great weapons, you can see many of the Squigs are being felled here in the tree line. And Grom the Paunch himself having a pretty bad time, I think. If I'm not mistaken, I think he took some big damage. Did he this time? Yeah, he's getting trapped up by the Slayers. The new mass changes do make it a little bit harder to pull out. Now, Creed and I are definitely in the race for first place. 3.8 for me, 2.4 for him. He's still getting a lot of damage on me. Like I said, Slayers don't have the best defensive capabilities, but as these Squigs do start to rampage, they're just going to get massacred and cut to pieces here by the Giant Slayers, as well as the regular Slayers. They have no armor, so, any variant of Slayer is really going to do some good work. I mean, I guess Squigs have 50 armor, so it's not, insignificant. Now, back in the pit fight here, the Rune of Negation and the Rune of Oath and Steel going down, so these shirtless Slayers, for the first time in their life, are being bestowed, well, I suppose since they become a Slayer, are given some armor, which I'm sure they're very appreciative of. But now you can see the Greenskins are more or less in a mass exodus as the Dowie unleash their full rage here and push back the Squig Herds, but a big Flamestorm coming, I think, from Chaos here. Could have sworn I saw that Chaos Sorcerer Fire. Oh god, this is going to suck. Hadries coming in with the gank here. A big Flamestorm going down, going to be tearing through my poor Dwarves, and thankfully they're pretty quick by Dwarven standards, so we are going to be able to scatter. I felt pretty good. We're in first right now. Chaos and High Elves have kind of been skirmishing with one another. Yeah, Chaos is, inevitable here, and the Chosen and other forces will eventually reach my battle lines. Granted, I do have a big speed advantage. I saw some Chaos Marauders over here catching up with my force, so I figured I could go for a little bit of a gank on these guys. So some Slayers will be charging in with a Runesmith who does the flying Bruce Lee kick and just literally sends that guy out of the formation, which is quite hilarious. Now some Giant Slayers are coming in as well. Figured, hey, let's get some freebies, let's take out these Chaos Marauders and see what we can do. And now you can see, Chaos is fighting Greenskins, which is good. Squig Herds are chewing on some of the chaff units. Quite happy about that. And the High Elves really are taking their time to engage here. On the back, we do have the Bolt Throwers pushing in. I think a Lithanar has been using his ammo and shooting. There's also some very healthy Dragon Princes here, too, which are a little bit of a problem. But for the most part, it's been more of a 3-way fight. High Elves have gotten a little bit involved. 1,400 points, some Fireballs and light Archer Fire coming down. Fireball is going to probably pick off one of the spawn units, which, yeah, certainly not a bad idea. They're actually going after the Chaos Sorcerer Lord of Fire. The Greenskins definitely very, very beat up right now. Grom the Paunch, though, is very good in FFA. He can often escape death with his Lucky Banner, and over the course of a long game, only with him himself, he can still generate some big value. But now I know Doom has come to many of these Slayers as the Marauder Horsemen circle about. I have 0 countermeasures against Marauder Horsemen. I just basically have to take it here. And there are some Chaos Warriors, and instead of running around the map, probably the smart play would have been to kite back and just ignore Chaos completely, go up and over the top here, and push into the back of the High Elves and start going for archers and things like that, because Chaos has so much armor. But, you know, the Jawi and me wanted to fight. They wanted vengeance here, and there were some grudges to be settled. So Cascading Fire Cloak going down from Chaos, a good play, giving him a little bit more melee defense. But we do get us around on the Halberds. Halberds are definitely taking a hammering. Giant Slayers currently do have the 22% ward save and are really getting in there and doing some damage. But this is a truly bloody fight here in the north. Marauders now piling in, and, you know, the Slayers are in their element. They're seeking their doom and also taking Javelin to the head. You know, what's not to love for Dwarf here? UNGRIM Iron Fist still also in really good shape, but the Dark Prince Sigvald lurks somewhere here on the map. It looks like he is coming in to fight, and I'm in a very tight battle now, but thankfully the High Elves did actually snipe out the Fire Sorcerer, so thank you, Mr. Tutu here for sniping out that Sorcerer, because another Flamestorm probably would have just straight up ended my army, so thankfully it's not something I have to worry about. The Greenskins, in the meantime, ever the agents of change and scheming here, are going to be using an Itchy Nuisance as a Burning Head goes down to my formation from the High Elves, actually, looking to farm my army for points. But the Greenskins coming in with their Squig Herd. Unfortunately, though, for them, Chaos has a metric shit ton of Halberds, and there's not a whole lot they're going to be able to do there. And man, I'm taking so many casualties from these Marauder Horsemen. There's just nothing I can do about it. The basic Slayers, though, not the Great Weapon variant, or the Giant Slayers, and do have a shield. They apparently twirl their axes in front of themselves and get some decent damage going that way. The High Elves taking a very conservative approach, like I said, just kind of slow pushing, which, you know, is a very viable strategy in, you know, FFAs, right? You kind of have to, you know, weigh the overall outcome. Are you going to be able to, is there going to be enough to clean up, right? Because that's the problem. Sometimes if you take this approach, there's simply not enough points left on the battlefield for your army to kill. And I think that's what might end up happening to him. He only has 3,000 now, and I think even if he killed everything here for himself, it might get him up close to like 10k. It'd be a close call for sure. So now we do have a pit fight here. We have the 2 Runesmiths and UNGRIM going to battle with Sigvald. The Axe of Dargo is popped, and Sigvald definitely gets staggered and takes a pretty big blow there. But Sigvald does have an advantage that my Jawi do not, and that's the fact that he can't heal. And here's the Hammer of Karak-Draz, going to be lowering his melee attack by 40, but it's still at 30, man. That's some seriously saucy stuff. So just trying to fall back away from the Chaos Heavy Infantry. I don't want my, you know, naked Slayers here with very poor AP values to be fighting Chosen. And unfortunately, Sigvald is able to capture UNGRIM and the Runesmiths. Yeah, some of the Runesmiths might actually go down here. It's hard to say, but I do have Runes of Wrath and Ruin. So here I dodge another Burning Head from the High Elves. The Fire Mage doing some excellent damage, and we're very, very danger close to the edge of the map. So definitely not bad for me, which is kind of funny. Maybe like an all-Slayer army should just like camp at the edge of the map at FFA. Granted, you know, we try not to do those things too much in these fun casual games here. But the Runesmith and the other Runesmith are hustling away, trying to reunify with what's left of my Slayers. I don't have much. 31 here, 3 here, 9 here, 31, and it looks like a 22. The Marauder Horsemen must have gotten so much value, and that's going to be something that will be interesting to take a look at after the game. Like how much value these horsemen have got. I bet you it'll be some of the most of like everything in this game here. UNGRIM and the boys, thinking about fighting Sigvald here. Grom the Paunch is involved. We do also have the High Elf Mage on a dragon nearby. Elithanar is about out of ammunition, but Elithanar, you know, in terms of accruing points, kind of like, you know who I feel like is one of the... Oh, look at that breath attack. Beautiful stuff there from the High Elf player. What I was going to say, though, is I really feel like the Sisters of Twilight might be one of the best units in FFA. Like, the ability to run around the map, pick their targets, and now we do have the Fight of Fights. So UNGRIM going into battle Sigvald, but, you know, Sigvald does have the support of an Exalted Hero and also a bunch of Chaos Warriors with Halberds. However, I do have Giant Slayers, so the Giant Slayer is going to move in. And UNGRIM, now, I knew killing Sigvald wouldn't be easy and would probably take some time, so UNGRIM is going to be going after the Exalted Hero. I know that's an easy kill, more or less, right? A couple good shots, that bad boy's going to shatter, it's going to run. We're also being peppered by a Bolt Thrower. Look at Creed coming in with the backstab here. Gets Grom the Paunch with his lucky banner, trying to take out that Runesmith. He might be able to with 80 melee attack, especially considering it's a foot character, but man, oh man, this is a pitched fight. So UNGRIM sacrifices a bit of his HP to kill the Exalted Hero, and just like I said, the Exalted Hero gets absolutely dunked on and shattered. But that entire time, UNGRIM took more or less lethal damage from Sigvald, and I had been hitting Sigvald for quite some time in that other fight, and I just couldn't get through his melee defense. It's super high right now at 84 when it's buffed up, so I figured killing the hero would be better and then trying to go after Sigvald, but man, oh man, he's tough to kill now. On top of that, he has 100 base leadership, which is just insane, so this is pretty much the end of the Dawi. The Dragonback Slayers and all the boys here are just fighting to the bitter end. There's only a handful left. The Runesmith in the back was taken out by Grom the Paunch, but not before he gave Paunch the business back as well, apparently, in conjunction with these Marauder Horsemen. So the Paunch has run off the battlefield. Runesmith will be joining him. Perhaps they can enjoy a Bugman's Brew together. Who knows? And here, look at all the Jawi, man. Just the remnants of these proud Slayers beating down these Chosen. Such a pitched fight. I guess we do have Dragonback Slayers here, but I don't know if the Slayers will win that. They might actually, just due to the leadership of the Chosen. Unfortunately for UNGRIM, though, he has lost the fight against Sigvald. You know, it wasn't the fairest of fights, but nonetheless, Sigvald is afflicted with the Hammer of Karak-Draz, and UNGRIM has had like 6 HP for like a good couple minutes, it felt like. But only 6 HP. Sigvald's been able to heal, and UNGRIM will probably honestly end up dying to like a bolt thrower shot or something like that, considering he only has 6 HP. So yeah, Sigvald's attacking Spearman. Like one of those loose shots could easily take him out. High Elves in the meantime going to be going after the Runesmith, so my army's completely done. UNGRIM has fallen. I think actually one of the Spearmen got the killing blow, which is really funny. And it might have been Sigvald, though. Now, we'll just say it was Sigvald because that's more epic. And Sigvald here going after the Runesmith. Runesmith is going to be forced to the edge of the map. And now comes the eternal conundrum here in FFA. Are the High Elves going to have enough to get into first place? Also, Sigvald's still alive. Is Sigvald going to be able to get, you know, more or less 1,000, 1,500 points and get back into first place? I certainly didn't think so here. Fireborn are lurking on the edge of the map. Warriors of Chaos have pretty much nothing left. If you look around the map, we got some Chaos Marauders here. We have some Horsemen on the far side. But now, we're going to do a little bit of fast forwarding, guys, and I just want you to watch the points. Watch it ever so closely. Sigvald here, going to be completely surrounded by spears. High Elves have a fair amount of ammunition. Now, what they could have done for me, a little favor that 2-2 could have done here, is he could have pulled away from Sigvald and blasted him with the bolt throwers, but no, Sigvald is now farming points, and he is getting danger close to catching up to me. I was in first place. This was actually on stream. I 100% thought I had this game. I was like, oh, the Slayers did so much damage. Like, I was able to get it. But guys, Sigvald, he just won't die. He won't break. Old Sigvald would have broken 100% here, but with that leadership buff, he is a raid boss. 100 points, and Sigvald has taken over first place. The Dark Prince cackles at the Jawi this day as they claim this FFA. Even Alithanar getting in there is trying his best to finish him off, but Sigvald just laughs in the face of all of his opponents here and is going to be claiming first place by not just a small margin, by almost 1,000 points. What an absolute raid boss. Well played to Hadrius, the Dark Lord of Slaanesh. That was an awesome match. But you know what? As far as that Slayer army goes, I actually really liked it. I think it'd be more effective with Grombrindle for even more AoE buffs and Splash Bomb. But look at the value on the Slayers. 1,600 here, 1,400 here, 1,400, 900, 1,200, 1,100. Like, they all paid for themselves. Giant Slayers, I think, cost like what? Like around... I can't quite remember off the top of my head. We'll check. But they all really, really did good. I was very happy with that Dwarf army. Now for Hadrius, look at Sigvald. Holy shit. 4,500. That is no joke. Firecaster got 1,000. The rest of his army did decently, right? Horsemen, yeah, look at that, 700. Not as much as you'd think. They all paid for themselves except one. But Chosen did okay. Halberds did okay. Spawn did okay. Sigvald carried hard. 4,500. Holy shit, what a champion. And now for the High Elf army, we take a look. Alithanar got about 1,100. Wow, look at his dragon, though, 3,300. A lot of that is probably from cycle charging Sigvald at the end. And yeah, Dragon Princes and company probably should have gotten engaged in combat earlier, like ahead of their Vanguard, maybe just to get some points. I think that the High Elves might have had a chance of maybe pulling the game back if they did that. And for Creed, what a hero, man. Charging in with the Squig Tide, giving you guys the glorious cinematics you deserve. 1,800, and yeah, many of the Squigs more or less just all got massacred. Very, very low value on them, but Grom the Paunch did pretty good, and yeah, he was a true champ here with the Creed Squig Rush. Anyways, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this FFA. That was probably one of the most fun FFAs I've had in quite some time. I really thought I had that one, but man, Sigvald just went balls deep in that game and really claimed it for Slaanesh, and it was really, really fun. So anyways, well played. Hope you guys enjoyed that one. We'll see you back with more videos soon, and you guys take care and stay safe in this cursed year of 2020.